amigos, and welcome to the last show on Televida, the Halloween show. The Halloween show. I'm dressed up as Rick. Guillermo's dressed up as Morty. Tonight's guest on the last show on Televida, we have a Renaissance man for the seasons because it is Halloween season. Our guest tonight is one of the foremost people knowledgeable on Bela Lugosi in Kansas City, Missouri. He is in fact Steven Spielberg's favorite Bela Lugosi. He was around all the hot spots in New York, but he's here tonight for our Halloween show. We have Michael McQuarrie. You think this looks good? Watch this video and we'll be right back with Michael McQuarrie.
Welcome to the last show. Beware! Beware! They might be coming for you. Elliot and his guests. Be careful of the Elliot threat. Well, that was fun.
Oh my God! You get into it. You're into it now.
You know, man of 1,001 faces. I think you got man of 1,012 faces.
Oh my God! It's Steven Spielberg's favorite.
Yes.
Bela Lugosi.
So you want to hear the story about that?
I want to hear the story.
First of all, thank you for letting me be here. This is exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, this Elliot threat. Yay! So anyway, I've been doing Lugosi since I was 5. Cannon Beach, Portland, Oregon. You have a little
connection with that.
We'll get to that later. So a friend of mine was in a think tank for a new Spielberg movie that he wanted a Bela Lugosi actor.
Yeah.
I can't say the guy who was in the think tank because he said, don't mention my name, but this is true.
Okay.
So they're in a think tank and Spielberg's there. He wants a Lugosi actor and they're all trying to brainstorm, right? So my friend said, hey, I know someone, we should pull up his videos on YouTube. And he does Lugosi. He's one of the best Lugosis around. And Steven Spielberg said, there's someone that does Lugosi? He's like, click. And so on YouTube, if you do Michael McQuarrie, Bela Lugosi. So
what's that? Michael McQuarrie?
Yeah, Michael McQuarrie, McQuarrie, Bela Lugosi, BELALUGOSI. So supposedly my friend was howling because when these clips came up, they stopped everything else. And he said Spielberg leaned in and he was like, wow, this is working. And so then when it was over, he said, so that's Michael McQuarrie. He is like the Lugosi guy. And Spielberg said, he's the best Lugosi I've ever seen.
There you go.
We need him for an audition when we get close to this thing that was tabled. But anyway, but he did.
Well, no, let's talk, because I mean, everybody isn't as seasoned as us.
Oh, well.
So let's go into a little bit. Who is Bela Lugosi for those people who don't know who we're talking about? Tell us who Bela Lugosi is.
Bela Lugosi. Bela. His name is pronounced Bela. Bela Blasco, born in Lagos, Hungary. 18.
Is that why his name's Lugosi? That was like, okay,
kind of. He was.
Okay, gotcha.
So he was a theater actor. He did a lot of stage. He also played Jesus Christa on stage. Believe it or not, talk about a far cry from where he ended up. But he did a lot of stage work in Hungary, and then Hungary, and then got on the boat to come to Hollywood to. And this is a charming story about the paperwork. He didn't speak English. He had to learn everything phonetically. And that's why he became so mysterious doing Dracula. So when he said, good night, Mr. Renfield, he's like going all over the place, but it only added to the cachet of the mystique.
So he was the one who said, let me suck your blood. How do you say it?
He never said, I want to suck your blood.
Yeah.
He simply just said, this is very old wine. It's amazing how things happen.
So he never said,
I did blah, blah, blah. He never did that.
Because if I was going to do an impression, that would be the first.
I want to suck your blood.
Yeah.
It just fit for him, I suppose. Or maybe he did it on some, Pathé little thing. But I don't think it's ever saying, I want to suck your blood. It would work, but he was more elegant. He was more refined. He considered what he did very seriously. That's why when I was 5, I turned to my mother on a rainy, beach day, because that's, what are you going to do? Watch black and white television. My mother said that I turned to her and I was watching Dracula. And she said, this little 6-year-old watching, it didn't move. And I was hyper. I mean, I know you couldn't tell, right? So she said that halfway through the movie, I just turned to her and I said, look how he holds his cape.
Oh my God.
And she knew right then and there she probably wasn't going to have any grandchildren. But I loved the grandeur and the elegance.
Did it look better in black and white to you?
I think so.
So I don't know. We're gonna see.
We'll do a few things.
Yeah.
Right?
Can we make this in black and white starting right now? I think we should be in black and white
Yes.
right now. Right. Now maybe we look older because
We'll see what happens.
Well, we'll see. Might not be in black and white.
TV.
Yeah.
Between pictures, Elliot, there is no Michael McQuarrie.
There isn't.
No. I don't exist for this.
So tell me about this. You actually got a chance to meet people who were in contact with Bela Lugosi, even though there's a huge span of years.
Oh, of course.
This man died 7-8 years before you were born.
Yeah, like late 50s.
Well, what are the Kevin Bacon degrees of separation you have with, because you actually work with
I have a great, thank you for bringing this up because it's charming. And Adita Sherman was her name, and she needs to be celebrated.
Adidas Sherman.
Adita
Sherman.
She was a well-known photographer of a lot of Hollywood celebrities, but she didn't get a lot of credit. She was a woman. And so anyway, I was working at a place called the Antique Boutique. And
this is New York City.
New York City. It was on Broadway between 4th and 8th Street. And my job was celebrity clientele. And boy, I could tell you a lot of stories. But this woman...
Stop. Who are the celebrities? Don't name drop.
Cher,
don't hang me out like that.
Cher, Robert Duvall, Robert Plant, Catherine Deneuve for 7 years.
Catherine Deneuve.
I don't know.
So anyway, so you were a personal shopper.
Bowie.
Getting back to her.
So yeah, that was Catherine Deneuve was a personal shopper. She did The Hunger with
David Bowie.
Yes, Bowie. This woman came in. She was in her 80s, and she was wearing this tight flapper outfit with a hat and sequins.
You're gonna have to tell our listeners what a flapper is.
Flapper is a 1920s.
We're gonna have to. This is like an old person thesaurus here. All right, a flapper is.
A flapper is like a 1920s kind of dancer, Charleston, whatever.
Okay.
So she came in wearing this sequins outfit, and she was old, but everyone kind of gave her the go
deference.
Older.
Okay.
So when I went right over to her, because I was like, "You're amazing," she said, "Oh, thank you for talking to an old lady. I like you. You'd be interesting. You should come over to my place. Let's have tea. Let's have high tea." Well, no one's ever invited me to high tea. So anyway, I'll just cut to this. I showed up and didn't realize the address was Carnegie Hall. Now, New York City, Carnegie Hall, that's a place where, practice and you'll eventually get to Carnegie Hall.
That's right. How do you get to Carnegie Hall?
Practice.
There you go.
This is another old school. That goes with the flapper. The Cotton Club. Heidi, ho. That's the next show. So I go to this place and I'm like, wait, you live here? No one lives in Carnegie Hall. You didn't know that. There was Bill Cunningham, who was a famous photographer, and Adita Sherman, who was called the Duchess of Carnegie Hall. So she invites me up, and the elevator opens on a black and white tile floor with this giant box camera with a lens as big as what Leo has over there. And I'm like, ah! And I look all around the perimeter on the wall, the sconces, all these famous portraits we all know. And I went, no, she took them all. She took all the famous Hollywood stills.
Of all the people.
Brando, Yul Brynner, Marilyn Monroe, Tyrone Power. Again, this is old Turner Classic Movie stuff. But all the glam stuff that where a lot of things come from today. I mean, there was a beginning, like Plymouth Rock and me.
You're a very old soul, Michael. I mean, I hate to say it, we're the same age, but you seem to even have a lot older than...
very, very Bela, Bela. But listen to this.
Let's hear it.
So Adita Sherman goes, what do you like? Tell me your favorite. What do you like? And I said, well, I'm looking up and I'm looking at all these pictures. I said, my favorite was Bela Lugosi. I love Dracula. She went, oh boy, do I have a surprise for you. You're killing me. She's like, look at this. And she went to her book. Already, are you getting chills? You getting chills?
I'm getting chills.
And she said, do you remember this? And I was like, that's the famous Lugosi shot of him, his profile. Here, I'll recreate it. It's like this.
There you go.
I think it's a still of it. Like, right?
There you go.
I said, that's I was crying.
Picture.
I was crying. She goes, well, let me tell you about how he did this here. I said, wait, he shot it right here. Bela was putting on his makeup over here. I said, where are those pictures? She goes, I know, darn it. Anyway, she put on his makeup right over here and crouched down on the table next to my coffee table and got on the floor and did this shot. And that's where
I think we'll try to get that Bela Lugosi shot in there.
I think you have.
But you are a Renaissance man in a lot of other ways. You're an artist too. Tell me about this.
I do. This is what I do when I'm not being a legendary.
Well, hold on. We're going to take another clip of you.
Okay.
And we're going to come back and we're going to talk about Michael McQuarrie, the artist, on the last show.
We'll surprise you.
Televida.
Yeah.
Bela Dracula Lugosi. Get up out of that coffin, Bela. We have to awaken the motion picture world of cinema to Ohm Film Fest. Bela Dracula, talk to these lovely people. Boris Frankenstein Karloff. Of course, Ohm Festival is the greatest film festival in the world where you, the audience, selects the films you want to see. You'd have to be brain dead not to go, Ohm Frankenstein. I go Ohm Fran, Ohm good. Yes, the Frankenstein. Ohm Film Fest, where you, the audience, selects the films you want to see. Your films are seen all over the world by everyone. Go Ohm. I go Ohm. Filmmakers, how would you like your film seen everywhere by everyone? Go Ohm. Go Ohm. Look into my eyes. Go Ohm.
And we're back on the last show with Michael McQuarrie.
Elliot Threat.
Oh, my threat. It's
I'm a
3.
threat too.
But Ed,
How many T's are there? Enough.
enough. I would do comedy clubs, and it's like, man, we ran out of T's.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't you love the Johnny
T's.
Carson format? I feel like I feel like I should do like Jack Benny. Or
You see,
here we are.
We have the AMC theater where you would see a lot of horror movies actually back in the day.
I'm not getting any older.
No. So tell me about some of your other skills besides knowing all things Bela
Besides
Lugosi.
being the man of 1,001 faces.
1,001.
So
how do you get to 1,001 faces?
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, didn't you just go to 800 faces and go, hey, that's enough?
This is very interesting.
800's enough.
A documentary was done. You could find it. It's online. It's called Man of 1,001 Faces. On Facebook, there's a page for it. But the reason I used to be called Man of 1,000 Faces, but in Turner Classic Movies, Michael F. Blake liked my Fu Manchu. Mm-hmm. I'm considered the most recent Fu Manchu, but I can't do him anymore because of political reasons, because it should be a Bangkok actor. Yeah. I do understand this. But for a long time, I did it like Karloff. It was in respect and integrity, but I can't do it anymore. Anyway, so Michael F. Blake got wind of me and what I do, and he said, my gosh, you're like Cheney. You're like Lon Chaney Sr., who was the Man of 1,000 Faces. But in the industry, we're going to have to call you Man of 1,001 Faces.
And one faces.
And I said, oh, no, that's terrible, because then all of his fans will hate me. And he said, on the contrary, you're carrying the torch. You're carrying on. So you'll be Man of 1,001 Faces. So it's very nice.
You know how many faces the actor Michael Keaton can do?
Now, how many?
220, 221, whatever it takes. It's a Mr. Mom joke there. Anyway, tell me about the faces. So this gets to when you start drawing.
So yeah, there was a Lon Chaney reference. I had another story about how when I create these characters, how I do stuff. I used to do these drawings, and I did them quickly, and then I would do these wild faces and stuff. And someone said, "Dude, you should. These are interesting drawings. They're very old school. They're very like the Brown Derby. They're very intense." Because I was an only child, so my entertainment was myself. Mm-hmm. Pardon me. So I started to do these to eat. I did these quick portraits, and in the nightclubs, I did this wild stuff. And MTV started, and I didn't realize I started MTV by doing these wild things. And my IMDb page, actually, by accident, 1994, I did a thing called Trip or Treat. What did you know? Another Halloween thing. Get that, right? MTV. And here I am. I didn't even know it till later. But I do these rapid portraits, and they're a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
And I think what would be even more fun.
Oh my God.
I'm going to do Elliot. It's called Your Essence in Seconds.
My Essence in
so
Seconds.
All we do, tell me, so this is how Your Essence in Seconds is.
Okay.
So how did you start? So how did you?
I started in comedy when I graduated from high school. I went literally right from my graduation stage, me and my buddy Aaron Anderson, to the comedy stage. I wasn't even old enough to get in there. They had to kind of escort me in there, Goodfellas style, through the back room and everything like that.
I knew you had one of those.
And
stories.
that's when I started. Then I moved out to LA about 85, and I went to UCLA for a little bit, and then got started in comedy. You know, I've had these caricatures done before, but this is going to be because I've never had them.
Well, this
my
is like
Essence in Seconds.
Your Essence in Seconds. This is
typically
like
it takes a long time.
No, these are very exciting, like you.
Oh my gosh.
Very nice guy. And thank you for caring about what I do.
Oh my gosh!
Can you tell a joke? Because you made me laugh. I saw Elliot, and he said to, what was his name? He's a nice and great feature actor.
Jerry Rapp or no?
The other gentleman that you just had on with the Lou Gossett.
Lou Gossett, Michael Joyner.
He was fantastic. Well, anyway, so Elliot was interviewing him like this, and he
my dollar.
And he said,
dollar.
Things were hard for me back in the day, and I had a hard time. and then Elliot said, "Oh yeah, like so you had a layaway plan at the Dollar Tree, right?"
There you go. There you go.
I lost it. All right, and your nest egg is in the lower.
My nest egg
corner. I've read about myself. If I like you, I sign it in the lower left-hand corner.
No, is this going to be framed? Now, hold on. Get my expression. I'm going to be impressed with this. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So Your Essence in Seconds.
Show it to them and then show it to me.
So this is the Get McQuarrie, Your Essence in Seconds by the legendary MNQ guy. So what? And what?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! It is me!
It is.
My God.
I like that. Else.
I like that. I like that.
It's a deeper you.
It's my essence, actually. I like. It's contemplative. Thank you. Thank you. Now let me ask you this. I gotta. Did you sign it?
Yeah, I did. It's down here.
All right. What do you think, Guillermo? Oh, that's not Guillermo.
Do you like?
That's Morty. That's Morty right now.
So this is ta-da.
My Essence in Seconds. All right.
Do you like? Is that exciting?
I like that. We're gonna have another clip from Michael McQuarrie, and we'll be back on the last show on Televida.
That dream was here beside me.
Welcome back to the Halloween episode of the last show on Televida. Now, you have to give out candy like this, don't you?
I'm back. I was a bat.
Do you ever give out candy dressed up like this?
No, I don't. I don't do that. I should, like Martin Landau and Ed Wood, right?
So you've never given out candy dressed up?
I should.
What a waste.
What a waste.
What a waste.
When I was little, I loved Halloween.
Oh my God.
That's the only time I got to be me. I like Batman, the old television show, and I loved all the villains. Do you know the villains? You know the reason? And again, you got to research this stuff. But folks, you have to see where this stuff comes from, right? And I know there's people out there that like the old school. So Batman, the television show, whenever the villains were
Adam West,
Burt Ward, Cesar Romero's the Joker,
the black lady,
Eartha
Kitt.
But do you know that every time the villains were on, it was slanted. And I was like, that is such a cool thing that ever the villains on they're slanted. But when I did that Fu Manchu serial, it's called Fu Manchu's Weapon of Evil. It's on YouTube. Dynamark Films. But the guy was a comic book person. So whenever I was on his Dr. Fu Manchu, it was always crooked. I said, I love that. He goes, well, you know why? And he mentioned the Batman television series. I said, oh, so you liked it too? It was crooked whenever the villains were on. He goes, that's it, because they were crooked.
That's true. A little bit off. I just remember the pow and wow and everything. So as Halloween comes up, because this is playing on Halloween week, your favorite scary movie? Favorite scary movie? We'll go years. We'll go old school. Yeah. We'll go middle school, 80s, and we'll go now.
Wow, that's interesting. Well, it has to be the original Dracula because that's when I first fell in love. 1931.
Was that silent or talking?
No, that was Lugosi. Lugosi played the role over 1,000 times more on stage, and then he.
Okay, well let's go more specific. Let's go your favorite Dracula movies from those times.
Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein. Incidentally, I got to do a rehearsal with you. I'll be at nightclub at the Kansas City Hotel, the basement, at the Nighthawk on Thursday, October 27th, and I'm doing something brand new. Now, I did all these shows in New York for years. I won Outstanding New York Kid. I won a Bistro Award in 1988. But I'm doing this thing that's new. That's not my old school stuff. And can I try it out?
Go right ahead.
So, because now I'm going to find a pretty girl in the audience at Nighthawk, Thursday the 27th, at the basement of the Kansas City Hotel. Very elegant place. But I'm going to find a lady in the audience, and I'm going to say to her first, without the mic, I'm going to say, good evening, Count Dracula. So now I'm going to have, you're a very pretty girl. Now you have to act, can you be a pretty girl? So I'm going to take my mic, and you're going to say, good evening, Count Dracula. Ready? So, mic's on.
Good evening, Count Dracula.
Good evening, Sandra. And you look more charming since I saw you last. Have you mastered Dr. Frankenstein's notebook? This time the monster must have no will of his own. No fiendish intellect to oppose his master. Sandra, what happened to that headache? It must pass as quickly as it came. I'm not feeling very well, Count. I'm not going to go.
I'm not feeling very well, Count. I'm not going to go.
Nonsense! It'll pass as quickly as it came. I must warn you, my dear Sandra. I have other ways of, good thing we're rehearsing. I have other ways of securing your cooperation. Look into my eyes. Deeper. Tell me what you see.
Bela Lugosi?
I love the looks of you. Of you. I'd like it. I'm going to sing a song.
You actually had me. I actually did some acting in that, Leo.
Are you all right with that? Don't do the screen grabs, Leo.
Yeah. So wait, are you gonna? We've talked about Halloween. You're gonna come back on my show and we'll talk about all the other stuff.
The nightclub stuff.
I want to talk about Studio 54. No, you did. Okay. It's the last show. We run it to the end.
The last show.
Yeah, the last show. So you have to promise to come back, though.
I'd be delighted.
Okay, Michael McQuarrie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've been watching the last show on Televida. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Beware.